today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to take a look at a pedal. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. And in this case, BMF Effects, we have in the Godfather II. I felt like I should have put cotton balls in my mouth and said, oh, I've got an offer. You can't refuse, right? Make you an offer. But I didn't do that because that'd be cheesy, so I didn't even bring it up. So it's the Godfather II. There's a Godfather that's out that probably half of this pedal is that. It's a medium to low gain. There's a second channel in here, and the Beard's going to tell you a little bit more about it. But
yeah, let's get into it. Real quick, just a rundown of features. 2 foot switches, bypass, and then select, which is selecting between the two different channels. You also have the ability to decide whether you'd like it to be A-B or A plus B. So over here, you're just swapping between the two channels, the two different sides. And then if you go to A plus B, it's kind of cool. You turn it on and you're just on kind of the lower gain side, and then you hit the button and it puts that on top. So it adds it to it. Pretty cool. Both sides have a volume gain and tone. And then on the inside of the pedal, there it is. There's trim pots for bass. So I think he said it ships with the bass at like 50 or at noon. And then if you are in a situation where you feel like you have a little too much low end, you can roll that back. Or if you need a little bit more, you can change that up a little bit. Running into Tyler today, I think we both felt they were in a good spot. Like, right. We didn't mess with that. But, you know, in different situations, different amps, different, guitars. And sometimes, like, a little too much bass down here isn't as big of a deal as it would be when you start getting into it.
Right, yeah, because we're not playing in a band circumstance down here situation.
Nice little thumb screws on the side. Get in. Interesting box, kind of a low profile.
Right.
I don't know.
Solid.
Yeah, solid.
Why not have to put Velcro on it?
Right, so BMF Effects, the Godfather II. So let's get into it. When I get a gain pedal like this, and I should say, because I asked Scott, what is this kind of based on a little bit? So you have the Boss OD1, which eventually got taken and made his name escapes my mind right now, but the Clarkster, Clark Gainster.
Mm-hmm.
Clark. He took it and kind of modified that circuit a bit. And there's a whole, then there's the red snapper, Minotone, red snapper, whatever that is. More recently, Dave Barber went back because Dave Barber had made some of the Clark Gainsters after the real big ones. Mm-hmm. That he put it like in a pedal box and worked with him. And then the Forget About It came out. So that whole kind of line of pedals, but with some part changes and with some tweaking to give it its own voice. And then on the left side, you have kind of a more low gain. On the right side, it bumps it up, beefs it up a little bit.
Yes.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right. So with a pedal in this style, which I'm a fan of pedals in this style, one of the things that I wanted to see right away is like, how does that play with the volume knob of the guitar? Because a lot of times you can get it, you can roll it back and it cleans up real nice. This is going to be a running theme through this video for me.
Right.
Not so much for Pat, but for me, running theme. So I grabbed my PRS McCarty and basically, I think I started in the neck, wide open, channel one, on the green channel, the lower gain channel, rolled the volume back, maybe switched pickups, I don't remember, went to the red side, rolled the volume back, maybe switched pickups, and I think even at the end, then I clicked it over so it was stacking the two together. But you'll see a lot of me rolling the volume back, rolling the volume up to kind of hear the difference and how it cleans up.
All right, for my first clip, I grabbed the PRS Silver Sky SE, and everything you hear tonight, except for on the jams, and we'll get to that, is the DLS Echo Tour and the Tyler. So I started on the green side, maybe the lower gain side, and I went with, was it Mick from that pedal show was always like, I think every pedal sounds good at 2 o'clock. So right. I put all the settings that I was doing, the volume, the gain, and the tone all at 2, and I played this.
For my next clip, I grabbed my Les Paul 1960s classic. This guitar has thornbuckers in it, and you can split that front. We can split both pickups, but I was on the neck pickup and I had it split to start. Here's what I think is interesting about this pedal: if you like turn your volume down to boost. In other words, I love this kind of circuit where you roll your volume back and then you click the pedal on, so it takes some of the gain out of it, but it like boosts the clean a little bit, maybe puts a little bit of grit on there. So I have it split. In the beginning, I have it split. I have it turn all the way up, play a couple chords, turn the pedal on, and then immediately roll the volume way back. And I think you'll hear what I'm saying. It's a weird thing, this idea of like using a drive pedal or a boost pedal to boost your clean, but rolling your volume back. It really has a cool thing though. And then I click on, because I can, a Strymon Lex. So we turn on a Leslie, because I like this type of circuit. I think sometimes adds a nice kind of sizzle to a Leslie pedal. And then play through that once, roll the volume all the way up, play through it again, and then kick in the humbuckers and play it again. And I think what you'll hear is like there's like multiple levels of gain staging there almost. Right. And not only that, the way it hits that Leslie pedal and makes it go, I think it's pretty cool. So for the build. And so just playing 3 simple chords back and forth so you can hear that. And here's what it sounds like. So when we're trying out a new overdrive pedal or any pedal, really, a lot of times we like to do a jam. Right. We both did a jam, both took it for a spin. For the first jam, I took it for a spin, and guess what? I used the BMF Effects Godfather II.
Good choice.
Echo Tour Tyler amp with my PRS McCarty. So the only thing that really is changing up here is what'd you do to back that up?
I was playing the Silver Sky, which not surprising, but through the Fender Hot Rod with just reverb.
Yeah, here's the jam.
All right, for my next clip, I wanted to go to the red side, the higher gain, and I wanted to play something with a bridge humbucker, so I grabbed the PRS DGT, which we changed out the pickups to Porter pickups. So I played it in the rear, and I tried the old formula again. I had everything on 2 on the red side, Echo Tour and Tyler, and I played this.
A lot of times when we're doing overdrive pedals, I look at it as a good excuse to pull out our little SG Junior here. Single pickup. Great guitar. When I first started playing this guitar with it, I had lots of gain on it, and it just wasn't quite right. And then I rolled the gain way down. I mean, way down. Maybe if memory serves, like 11 o'clock, you can look at the picture and tell me I'm wrong, and pushed the volume up. Pulled the gain back, cranked the volume up a little bit, and then the guitar really came alive. And sounded really cool. And this is what I did.
Okay, for my last clip, I played it with both sides combined and decided to grab a Telecaster and put it back in the bridge pickup with the Echo Tour and the DLS, and had to do just a little cocktailing because it really wanted to squeal, but it was worth the 35 seconds of dialing it in to play something. So I started on just the green side, and then I hit the plus, which was both sides. And here it is. So I always like to do a second jam with each of us trying the pedal, and I grabbed the 339. It's been getting a lot of play by the Beard lately, and I'm like, sounds great, let's play it. So I used it, DLS Echo Tour, Tyler, and tried to use both sides of the pedal during the jam and go through several pickups. And what did you play?
I played, backed you up on the Fender Hot Rod, and then I grabbed probably the most viewed guitar on the channel.
That's true.
Which is the Tajima. One of our very early videos is terrible. And then there's a couple videos later where we compared it to some other things. But yeah, lots and lots of views on this guitar. So people must be pretty interested in them. And it's been a while since we got it down. And man, is it... I enjoyed playing it.
I thought it sounded good, honestly.
Yeah, it had like a real...
Yeah, it had
nice
chiminess to it, yeah.
Sound to it. So before we play that final jam, that'll be at the end of the video. If you want to check it out, you can either use the chapters down below, or you can stick around for some quick final thoughts. What are your final thoughts on the BMF Effects
Godfather II? I was really glad when you said that someone reached out to us and wanted us to try something. That's always a nice feeling, and you guys are partly responsible for that. So we thank you for that. Might be getting ahead of ourselves there, but sometimes I struggle with two-sided pedals. But I like this because you could do it independently and stack it. And I liked both of them. I tried to figure out where to get the gain on the higher gain side, that it just doesn't completely collapse on itself. Because it will do that, which is okay for some things, but some things I was looking for, if I had the gain a little too high, it would choke out. Like I went to a couple like open chords, and one thing I was playing, and I had to take the gain back down for what I was playing there. So it's got a lot of options. It's got a lot of gain. It's got high, medium, and low gain, because the one half is their low to medium gain pedal, the Godfather. So I enjoyed trying it out. It does, sometimes pedals push you in a different direction. Sometimes we want to try it with a bunch of different guitars to see how it reacted. And it was a nice night to play with it. It wasn't really hard to dial up something good.
Yeah, I said to Pat earlier, I feel like there's some pedals down here that we plug into and we can make them sound like us pretty easily, whether it's a Tube Screamer or a Blues Driver or a Blues Breaker. Like I feel like you can kind of find that spot where it sounds like your drive pedal. Maybe not exactly, but I feel like this style of drive reminds me more of like a Tweed amp style drive. So like the 55 from LPD or the Falcon from Crazy Tube Circuits. I don't think this is intended to be a Tweed style necessarily, but there's something in the way it breaks up, and you use the word collapses, and like it will do that. There's something in there that reminds me of that, and I love it. I think it's great. Sometimes those pedals, when you really are like hitting them and they kind of like, whoa, that sounds so cool. Makes your amp sound like it's about to
Blow up.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So that right away, I like it for that reason. I love the way it cleans up on the. I love the way it cleans up with the volume knob. Excuse me. In my jam, I guess I didn't mention this, but I was on the red side the whole time. But I was just gain staging with the volume knob again. Roll the volume knob back a little bit and clean it up. Even with the SG, I think I started off with the volume knob back so you could hear how clean it was, and then roll the volume up. So I love that. I love that. That a pedal that reacts that well to your guitar gives you this whole kind of range. And then you have two sides, so you can really I thought it was interesting. Like sometimes the volume way up and the gain back actually sounded like when you're talking about that. So we're making short video longer. But when Pat was talking about it collapsing on him, you had the PRS, right? Mm-hmm. And so the way after we played through it, he's like, I didn't like that. So the way we fixed it, pulled the gain back, but what he failed to mention a second ago was you goosed it with the volume, and then that kind of brought it back. That brought it to life, and it actually almost sounded more. I don't want to say more gainy, but more bigger. Right. Like a lot of times you think, well, if I crank the gain up, it's going to be, but
sometimes it disappears.
Right. Twice a night we found pulling with the SG and with that pulling the gain back and cranking the volume up. Yeah, it sounded really good. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's tons of options in here. You got two different pedals. You can stack them. You can go between them. You got the way they react with your volume knob. It's huge. Like the tonal variations are huge. So I think, and if you can't tell, I like the pedal. Yeah, it was really good. And I don't get. It's hard to get excited about
the dry pedal.
Right. Well, I mean, take that for what it is. Sometimes it's hard to get excited about dry pedals because so many come through. But I was really digging that tonight. So, anything to add? We good?
Hopefully, looking forward to trying out some more things. Don't quote me, but there's probably 10 or 11 drive pedals of different types. There is a compressor. There's a single chorus and a dual chorus that I peruse their website, and I encourage you to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I know somebody has a course series going. Starting up, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, with that, hey, thanks for watching. If you click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, any of those things help, right? They help with the channel, and that's what helps us form relationships with people like Scott over at BMF Effects to get cool stuff in to share with you. So we appreciate that to no end. And with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.